Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, today we're jumping straight into CRM, customer relationship management, specifically how it's evolving.
Right. It's a really big topic right now.
It is. We're looking at traditional CRMs versus these newer AI-powered ones. We've got some great material guiding us, comparing the two, looking at automated platforms, and this interesting idea of a shift from a system of record to a system of intelligence.
That's a key concept, yeah.
So our mission today is to really get under the hood. What are the actual differences? What does AI really bring to CRM? Let's maybe start with the foundation. What exactly was a traditional CRM?
Well, traditional CRM was a huge step forward for businesses, no doubt. It gave you one place, right, to keep all your customer info.
Systemized everything.
Exactly. Track interactions, emails, calls.
Yeah.
And it let you automate some basic tasks using workflows you had to set up beforehand.
Okay, so structure and some automation.
Right. It brought order. But the catch was getting deep insights.
Mm.
That really depended on someone manually digging through all that data.
Ah, okay. So the analysis part was human-driven.
Heavily. You were mostly looking backward at what already happened. And the automation, it was helpful, but less frigid. Like that core shift piece says, it was primarily a system of record.
A history book, essentially.
Sort of, yeah. A very organized history book for your customer interactions.
Got it. So now, enter AI. This feels like the next big leap. We're hearing about AI-powered CRMs moving beyond just storing data.
That's the core idea, is taking that solid foundation and adding, well, a layer of intelligence that just wasn't possible before.
Moving from passive storage to something more active.
Exactly. From that system of record
Hmm.
to what the source calls a system of intelligence. It's meant to be proactive, dynamic.
Okay, let's break that down. What are the really key, tangible differences we see between these two? Maybe starting with data.
Sure. Data processing and analysis is a huge one. With traditional systems, like we said, you collect tons of data, but then you have to figure out what it means.
Manual sifting, pattern spotting.
Right. And it's usually after the fact. AI-powered CRMs, though, they're designed to proactively analyze massive data sets on their own.
Automatically.
Yeah, automatically. They can find hidden trends, connections you might miss, and even give you predictive insights. It's about extracting value from the data without needing constant manual effort.
Less digging, more discovery. That sounds incredibly efficient. How does that intelligence impact, say, automating tasks?
That's another major difference.
Yeah.
Traditional CRM automation is basic think reminders, simple predefined workflows.
Like if X happens, then do Y.
Pretty much useful, but you set the rules manually and they're rigid. Complex decisions, adjustments, usually needs a person.
Okay. And AI automation.
That's where intelligent automation comes in. These systems can actually learn from past results. They adapt.
Learn. How so?
They can see what worked, what didn't. So they can, for example, prioritize leads not just based on simple rules, but on their calculated likelihood to actually convert.
Ah, smarter prioritization.
Exactly. They can suggest the best next step for a salesperson, or even handle some quite complex tasks all by themselves. One of the sources mentioned this could cut down administrative tasks by up to 70%.
70%. Wow, that's freeing up a massive amount of time.
It really is. Teams can then spend on, selling or strategy, not just admin.
So it's not just doing things faster, it's doing them smarter, more adaptively.
Mm.
Okay, let's talk personalization. That's huge these days. How do the two CRMs stack up?
Good question. Traditional CRMs allow some segmentation. You can group customers based on criteria you define manually.
Like based on purchase history or location?
Stuff like that, yeah. And you can tailor messages to those segments.
Yeah.
But it's really static, Based on how you initially set it up, it doesn't really predict future needs.
Okay, basic personalization. And AI.
AI aims for hyper-personalization. It uses much more sophisticated analysis of behavior to understand individual customers deeply.
Deeper than just segments?
Oh, yeah. It tries to predict what a customer might need or want before they even say it. And it can adjust communications automatically based on how someone's responding, offer dynamic recommendations in real time.
That sounds powerful, like it's tuning the experience on the fly.
It is. And that source, CRM.com IA, suggested this could boost customer satisfaction by around 25% because the experience feels more relevant, more understood.
A 25% jump in satisfaction is significant. That ability to anticipate needs almost makes the CRM feel like a partner.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. What about looking ahead? Predictions, suggestions for strategy.
Right. With traditional CRMs, you get historical reports, lots of data on past performance.
The rearview mirror again?
Exactly. To figure out future trends, someone has to interpret all that past data. There's no built-in crystal ball, so to speak. Decisions are based on analyzing what was.
Makes sense. And AI-powered.
This is where AI really shines, I think. These systems can generate surprisingly accurate predictions.
Predictions about what? All sorts of things. Customer behavior, like who's likely to buy soon, who might be at risk of leaving churn risk. Even predicting the probability of a specific deal closing.
Really? Predicting deal closures.
Yeah, based on those predictions, the AI can then suggest concrete actions like focus on this lead or try this approach to retain that customer.
So it's not just predicting, it's recommending actions.
Precisely. That same source mentioned potential accuracy rates of over 85% for sales forecasting with AI.
Over 85%. That takes forecasting from like an educated guess to something much more solid, data-driven.
It certainly aims to. It gives businesses much better visibility.
Okay. And what about the actual direct interaction with customers? How does AI change that piece?
Traditional CRMs, they manage interactions, right? They log calls, emails, notes. But the response itself, that typically needs a human.
So service depends on agent availability.
Largely, yes.
Yep.
AI-powered CRMs often bring in things like chatbots or virtual assistants.
Ah, the bots.
Right. And they can handle a lot of the frontline stuff in real time, answering common questions, guiding customers, providing instant support.
247 availability for basic queries.
Exactly. This lets businesses scale their support without necessarily needing a linear increase in staff. The humans can then focus on the more complex, nuanced problems the bots can't handle.
That makes sense. Freeing up human agents for higher value interactions. Okay, this is all fascinating conceptually. Can we talk about some real-world examples? Which platforms are actually doing this well?
Sure. Salesforce is a big one, obviously. Their Einstein AI platform is integrated pretty deeply across their offerings.
What does Einstein do specifically?
Well, it analyzes data for sales forecasts, like we discussed. It does predictive lead scoring, telling you which leads are hottest. It recommends next best actions for sales reps. It can even help generate personalized content.
So quite embedded.
Very. It uses predictive analytics, natural language processing, understanding text and speech, and even some image recognition.
Interesting. Who else is prominent in this space?
HubSpot is another major player investing heavily in AI. They offer features like, again, predictive lead scoring, also call analysis. It can transcribe calls and pull out insights.
Analyzing the conversation itself.
Yeah. And behavior-based marketing automation triggering actions based on actual customer interactions, plus AI recommendations for optimizing your content.
Okay. What about Microsoft? Dynamics?
Yep, Microsoft Dynamics 365 has their customer insights platform. It uses AI to pull together customer data from different places.
Unifying the view.
Exactly. Then it applies AI to predict behaviors and give guidance to sales teams. They really leverage their Azure cloud and cognitive services for things like sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis. Understanding the emotion in text.
Right, understanding if a customer communication is positive, negative, neutral. Also predicting purchase intent, automating processes.
Got it. And I know Zoho and Pipedrive are also popular. What's their AI angle?
Zoho CRM has Zia, their AI assistant. Zia does sales predictions, spots anomalies in your data, automates routine tasks, and does sentiment analysis too.
And you can talk to it.
Yeah, you can interact via chat, ask questions, give commands using natural language. Pipedrive focuses its AI more directly on sales team efficiency.
How so?
Things like prioritizing leads based on conversion likelihood, forecasting deals likely to close, suggesting actions for deals that seem stalled, and it's designed to learn from how your team uses it so the suggestions get better over time.
So it adapts to the team's workflow. It's clear AI isn't just a buzzword here. It's becoming a core part of these platforms. We've talked differences, examples. What about bottom line? What are the tangible benefits businesses are actually seeing?
The benefits are pretty compelling based on the sources. We already mentioned the potential 70% reduction in admin tasks, which means a big productivity boost.
Right, that was huge.
Then there's improved conversion rates. Companies often report something like an average 30% increase in closing deals.
30% higher close rate. Why?
Likely due to that better lead scoring, better insights, knowing where to focus effort, the personalized engagement. It adds up.
Okay, productivity, conversions. What else?
Enhanced customer experience. That 25% jump in satisfaction we talked about stemming from that hyper-personalization.
Happier customers.
Exactly. And faster decision-making. AI analysis can cut the time needed for data crunching and strategy planning significantly, maybe by half, one source suggested.
50% faster strategy, that's a big advantage.
It is. And
And
then finally, that revenue predictability we touched on. Getting sales forecasts with over 85% accuracy allows for much better planning, resource allocation, just more stability.
those numbers really paint a picture. Increased productivity, better conversions, happier customers, faster decisions, more predictable revenue. It sounds less like an upgrade and more like a strategic transformation.
That's a good way to put it. It really is enabling companies to shift, to move from being reactive, just responding to things, to being much more proactive and data-driven.
Anticipating instead of just reacting.
Precisely. Anticipating customer needs, optimizing your own internal processes intelligently, and building a stronger, more sustainable competitive edge. It's moving beyond just managing information.
It's a fundamental shift in understanding and interacting with customers.
I believe so. It's more than just storage and basic workflows now.
So, looking ahead then, what's the final word on the future of CRM? Where is this all heading?
The future is definitely intelligent. This move towards AI-powered CRM isn't just, a small tweak. It's a major evolution.
Turning data into intelligence.
Exactly. Transforming raw data into something genuinely actionable. And the organizations that embrace this, that really learn to leverage these platforms, they're going to be much better positioned
Better positioned to do what?
to anticipate what customers need, maybe even before the customers themselves realize it, and to thrive in a market that increasingly demands personalization and data-smart interactions.
So, AI and CRM is becoming table stakes.
It's rapidly heading that way. It's becoming the expectation, I think, enhancing all those traditional CRM functions with intelligence, prediction, and much smarter automation.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've really traced that shift, haven't we? From the traditional CRM as that essential system of record focused on the past,
Documenting what happened.
right, to this AI-powered CRM as a system of intelligence actively trying to shape the future of those relationships.
Looking forward, making recommendations.
And the benefits seem clear. Big boosts in productivity, much better customer experiences, and smarter, faster decision-making all around.
Undeniably strong advantages.
So here's something to think about as we finish. If you could genuinely predict what your customers will need next, and if you could automate many of the complex, time-consuming tasks involved in serving them, how would that fundamentally change how you interact, how you strategize? How would it move you from just managing relationships to truly proactively shaping them for mutual benefit? That's something to ponder in this evolving landscape. Thanks for diving deep with us today.